excited to be joined by Tucson Roadrunners forward Michael Carcone. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Hey, Michael, I'm going to start with last season. So last season you come up, you play 21 games with the Coyotes, and that leads into your off season. Does that help you prepare differently than you did maybe the previous year, having that many games in the NHL? Did you change the way you trained coming into this season? Did you prepare differently?
No, I think it gave me confidence, that I can play in the NHL. I think I approached it the same way as I usually would going into the off season. Knowing I had a little bit of a taste and that I wanted to stay gave me a little bit of drive for sure. But just kind of stayed with the same routine and went after it.
So you lead the team in points right now. What do you attribute that success to so far?
Definitely my line mates. I know it's kind of a cliche to, give it to your line mates, but I've played in this league for now my 7th year, and success is due to who you're playing with and the chemistry you have. So I got to give it to those guys. Benny McCartney is just a guy that's going to go through a wall for you, and JS has the skill, and he knows how to put the puck in the net. So just moving the puck around and getting it to those guys, and that's it.
Yeah, well, you talk about that, and it's interesting because your line mates are very different in their backgrounds, and like Ben's still finding his way as a pro hockey player. Ben McCartney, he's young, he's learning, and then you look at JSD, and he's a veteran guy, and both you two guys, when you look at JS and yourself, you're experienced players, experienced professionals. Does Ben give you a little bit of juice? Are you guiding him through? Do you find like you're the mentor almost for one of your line mates?
I think he might be the mentor for me. He's how old is Ben? He's 22 or 21,
Yeah.
and it just speaks volumes. He's an assistant captain on this team because of the way he plays, and I've talked about it before. He just gets it. Like he'll go through a wall for you, plays hard every night. You know what you're going to get from him. So I have a lot of respect for Benny, and I love his game, and I think me and JS just kind of sit back and just go, holy crap, this kid's he just gets it.
Well, you talk about him being wearing an A, and you do as well. What has it been like for you to be a part of this leadership group for this Tucson Roadrunner team?
It's definitely been a learning experience for me as well. Last year was my first year with a letter, and kind of it happens quick when you go from a guy that's played a few years in the league to, okay, now you're the guy with experience, especially on the team last year. We were a younger team. Definitely a learning curve. This year, we have a lot more leadership, older guys here to fill those roles. So even guys that don't have a letter, like Doff and JS, and you got Karate, who's well-spoken. He's on his 3rd year, I believe. Like it's been very easy this year, and it's just by committee.
So right now the team is 2nd in the Pacific Division with a 6-2 record. It's been really a hot start for this team. What's clicking right now, and what's different than last season so far?
I think our depth is a little different this year, and just the experience. I find the calmness in the room is definitely helping us. Just going in, game by game. And then I think our depth guys just are doing such a great job right now. They're playing, a lot of 5-on-5 minutes. They're playing the top lines, and they're playing them hard. And I think they're, beating them points wise most nights. So it definitely makes it easier when that's happening. So I think it's been great.
You talk about we talk a lot about this coaching staff and the experience behind the bench. In Tucson, he added Zach Sartini behind the bench. Can you tell us a little bit about what he's added both on and off the ice?
Yeah, I think Stort's I know we chatted about it earlier just before we hopped on here. He retired a couple years ago, so he's a guy that, played the game. He just understands how you're feeling out there on the bench, and what needs to be done on the ice. So you come back to the bench, you're a little frustrated. He sees it. He knows how you feel. You talk to him about it, and you move on, and he just knows how to get into your head and, almost make you feel better. So, no, he's a very calming presence on the bench for us, and a very intelligent guy. So happy he's here with us.
Do you pay attention at all with what's happening with the Coyotes and how they're doing, or if there are injuries maybe, or are you just really focused on what's going on in Tucson?
I obviously you look and you see what's going on social media. You try to keep it out of your head as much as you can. You can't control that stuff with what's going on and who's going up. And the more you look at it, the more it kind of eats you alive. So you just focus on what's going on in Tucson. I mean, we're all Roadrunners right now, the guys that are here. So you just play your game and hope for the best.
I got one more follow up to that, Michael. And this is a tough question.
Mhm.
I don't want to spring it on you, but you see, you're having a good year. We talked about you leading the team in points right now, and this is a team that's a couple points out of first place. Actually, just one game out of first. So when you see Laurento Fan, Player of the Week, and he gets the call up. See, I mean, the goal is to play in the National Hockey League. We get that. When you see a guy that's sitting across from you in the locker room and he gets the call, what's that like for you?
You said it yourself, Player of the Week. I personally don't think I've been playing my best hockey. It just, sometimes the puck falls for you. Sometimes you get lucky bounces and you get the points. But I think Doff's been rock solid for us. He plays power play, plays penalty kill, plays big minutes 5-on-5. And I get along with him too. He's a great guy. No problems in the dressing room. I mean, he's a guy that deserves it. He had a lot of success in the NHL last year. So I think, and he's a leader on the team. So I think, there's obviously conversations towards the back of the bus about, that stuff, but I don't think this group's going to let it affect, what we think of each other, how we're playing, or any of that stuff that kind of gets in your head. It's not really a worry. So I'm happy for him. I think he deserves it. I think he's a great player, and hopefully we don't see him again, but you never know.
Well, you talk about that bond and the way you guys are getting along right now as a team. What are the goals for this Tucson Roadrunner team? How far do you think this team can go?
Yeah, I played on good teams. I've went to the conference finals, and this team reminds me a lot of my team in Toronto. There's just a lot of skill, a lot of depth, and we play the right way. So, I see ourselves going the distance as long as we can keep everyone healthy and just stay on the same page. I mean, it's early. We have a lot of work to do. But yeah, I definitely see us getting there and having a chance at winning. So I think that's the end goal for all of us.
Well, Michael, we can't thank you enough for joining us today, and hopefully we'll check in again with you soon at some point this season.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Michael.